Hey you guys, so it's Patrona's birthday today and we're spending the day in Denver. Right now we're going to this immersive experience in the Titanic and we're going to take you with us. Check it out.
Yes. Oh, that's Rosie's shoes. Is this actually real?
Well, the Titanic was a real ship.
No, I know. But person shoes.
Let's try that cup.
Oh, that's Jack's white shirt. So Jack was a size large.
It's like a history museum of the Titanic.
Yeah.
Building the Titanic. Yeah. You can cut those out if you need to.
You know, the Titanic went down, but there was never actually a Jack and Rose love story.
Yeah.
That part was made up.
I figured.
Yeah.
I wonder if they went into the sea and dug up any of these artifacts. So this is the famous iceberg
Yeah.
that destroyed it.
Plunge into the sea as enormous icebergs. They are carried north by the currents, far away from shipping lanes, until they are diverted into the Labrador Current, a glorious ship ever built.
That's scary. You're right, it's almost like they were destined to meet.
Yeah.
The story of Titanic begins thousands of years before she set sail, when falling snow formed the vast glaciers of Greenland. Glaciers that slowly make their way towards the coast, where they crack and plunge into the sea as enormous icebergs. They are carried north by the currents, far away from shipping lanes, until they are diverted into the Labrador Current and begin to travel south along Iceberg Alley. Many run aground, and most break up. In 1909, more icebergs than usual were formed, crowded.
They probably shouldn't have taken that path.
This was the same year Titanic began construction.
That's crazy.
Same year, her iceberg was born.
That's so crazy.
The iceberg was massive, over 2 miles wide.
It's like almost conspiratorial.
Most icebergs melt within the first year, and many others run aground. But the close proximity of the moon in January 1912 increased the tides. This may have helped keep this iceberg from stalling along the rocky coast. Less than 1% of all icebergs make it to the ocean. In April 1912, however, the Gulf Stream ventured further south, allowing the icebergs to drift further south and into the North Atlantic Ocean, right into the heart of the busiest shipping lane in the world, putting the most famous iceberg in history on a fateful path towards the most glorious ship ever built.
Ooh.
Artifacts from the underwater scene. Right here we have I'm ready to go to the next room. Yeah. This is the second class.
So this is a model of the first class accommodation.
I feel like today's cruise ships kind of hold us under the water. Is it just me?
Oh, that's a light from the grand staircase.
Seems like the Titanic was a high class kind of ship.
Okay, this is the
Meant for-
first. Well,
meant
this
for elites.
no, they have different classes. This is like the first class area. So they have first, second, and third class. That's what it's called.
Titanic, a symbol of progress and how far we have come as a species, but also a reminder to be humble, because ultimately, nature will take back that which we have built, that nothing is beyond the reach of time.
Hey guys, so we hope you enjoyed that. We just finished up the immersive experience and it was definitely very good, very informative. So I actually watched Titanic, the movie. Joseph hasn't watched it, but the movie certainly adds a lot of fluff and glamour to everything. But this immersive experience, it just highlights so much history and so much more. It really gives you an insight into how people must have felt while the ship was going down. There was also like a room that we went into and it showed like the timeline of the ship going down. It showed how they were trying to reach out to like other ships nearby for help, and like it's very riveting. What do you think, Deb?
It was like a museum, and you definitely get a sense of that time period back then and just the technological process and everything.
Yeah.
Talked about how like the steam engine ships were like, it was almost like a symbol of progress in like the turn of the century, the Industrial Revolution, and it gave a lot of people hope from around the world, and it was kind of like this is the beacon of the future in a sense. And it talked about like the first wireless communication, talked about like, you know, coal fuel. It was just really interesting. It was like stepping back through time.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we hope you guys enjoy that, and we will catch you for other activities that we have for the day. Well, the other activities that we're going to Benihana. So stay tuned.
we're going to be going back to Denver in the future as well. So stay tuned for that.
Yes, stay tuned for that, and we will catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.